Happy Monday to all my awesome peeps. Ms. Farrar coming to you with another story, but this one isn't just like the last ones. I have a total of 1, that one don't count, 2, 3, 4 books that Ms. Farrar doesn't need anymore. 4 of them. So, the first 4 students that comment on this video or tells Ms. Thomas, I watched Ms. Farrar's story, gets to pick a book, and Ms. Farrar will bring it to your mailbox. And you can read it while we're stuck at home. So, listen to my story and then tell Ms. Thomas, I heard it. First 4 people. I'm going to try to do this every time I read a story to keep you guys intrigued and engaged in listening to my fun stories. So today, I'm going to mix them up, and I'm going to pick whichever one lands on top, and that's what we're reading. Fancy Nancy and the Boys from Paris. It's an easy beginner level reading 1, so you guys should be able to read this if you've been practicing your sight words. Okay? Let's go over our important parts of the book. We got our front cover and our spine, our back cover. There's this thing called the title page. That's when we open up our book and find all the information that we find on the title of the book. Sometimes it looks just like it or a little bit different. I have the title of the book, and on this one it says it's illustrated by Robin Paris Glasser and wrote author by Jane O'Connor. So let's get into this Fancy Nancy story. I'm sure our girls are going to like this one. I almost always get to school early, but on Monday I'm tardy. That's a fancy word for late. I come in and I see a new kid. He is standing next to Miss Glass. Robert comes from Paris, Miss Glass is telling everyone. He just moved here. Paris? Paris is a city in France. It's gorgeous. That is a fancy word for beautiful. Bonjour, I say in the book nook. In French, that means hello. I am Nancy. I never met anybody from Paris before. I speak slowly so he will understand. It's really nice there, Robert says. I miss it. He has a book on cowboys. He probably wants to learn all about this country. I want to go there someday. I show him my book. It is about a dog in Paris. Do you like the United States? Yes, said Robert. Don't you? Yes, I do, I say. I've lived here all my life. Then Miss Glass puts a finger to her mouth. This is not talking time, she says. This is reading time. I wonder how many times you guys heard me and Miss Thomas say that. On Tuesday, I sit next to Robert at lunch. Have you ever been to the Eiffel Tower? I ask him. Robert nods and swallows. Lots of times. Our house was near it. I tell Robert, I know about the Eiffel Tower. There's a poster of it in my room. I know lots about Paris. I share some of my lunch. These are donut holes, I say. Robert gives me a funny look. I know that. I have eaten donut holes before. Miss Farrar had chocolate donut holes for breakfast. That night, I tell my mom and dad about Robert. He is very nice. He already speaks English. I want to be his friend. How do you say friend in French? The word is ami, my mom says. You say it like this, ami. I love French. Everything sounds so fancy. Why don't you ask him? Over to play, my dad says. Ami. How many of you have amis at school that you miss? So the next day I do. We can play soccer. Did you play soccer in Paris? Sure, all the time, Robert says. I'm a good kicker. I can come on Friday. On Thursday, it is show and share. Robert brings in a toy horse. It is brown and white. My grandpa has a horse like this. Then Robert passes around a photo. I miss her a lot. My grandpa, oh, he misses the horse. Oh, her name is Bella. In French, that means beautiful. Bella, I say to myself. Now I know another French word. On Friday, Mom is at work. Mrs. Devine picks us up from school. Mrs. Devine lives next door. I tell Robert. Robert is from Paris, I tell Miss Devine. At home, we make a tent in the yard. We pretend bears are outside. We pretend to be terrified. That's a fancy word for scared. We let my little sister play too. Robert is a great kicker. My dog runs around the yard. That's Frenchie, I tell Robert. She is not really French, but you will like her anyway. We go inside and I show Robert my room. See? There's the Eiffel Tower, I say. Yes, says Robert, but that one does not have a cowboy hat on it. The Eiffel Tower is in Paris, France. It is taller and is more famous, but we have an Eiffel Tower too. Our Eiffel Tower has a cowboy hat on top. Dear Addison, I found a note Alicia wrote her friend. Wait a minute, I'm very perplexed. That's a fancy word for mixed up. But you're from Paris, France, I say, aren't you? No, I'm from Texas. Paris, Texas, Robert says. Miss Glass told everybody that the first day. Robert shows me Paris, Texas on my globe. All this time she thought he was from France. Oh, I guess I missed that part. And I feel a little silly, but not for long. After all, I have a new, ami, even if he isn't French. Fancy Nancy words. Ami, friend in France. French, sorry. You say it like, me. Bella, beautiful, in French. Bonjour, hello, in French. Gorgeous means beautiful. Perplexed, mixed up. Tardy, a lot of you guys are tardy or late to school. Terrified, scared. Those are some new words that you guys can try to use today when you're at home with your mom and dads or aunties or meemaws. Try to use those words in a sentence and see if it makes sense. That's Miss Ferrara saying, well, I miss you guys and hopefully we get back to school soon. And by the way, Alicia is recording again today. So I'll talk to you guys all later this week. Have a great Monday.